let's just get into it. How about Georgia Southern versus the Ohio Bobcats? A little bit of an interesting roster shakeup for Ohio going in this game. I would assume that Ohio would be favored in this game, if not for Curtis Rourke, CJ Harris, of course, being hurt earlier this year. No Miles Cross. Bangura's is he out for this game as well?
Yep.
Yeah. Uh, all studs in that offensive side of the ball. Now, the bread and butter of this Ohio team has been the defense. It has been the defense, certainly. But Georgia Southern, when you look over there, you don't, the, not a whole lot of significant transfers. What, maybe Jalen Denton, but like they haven't had him for a while. So the line's at 3.5. Now, if you follow us, you watch us pretty often, right? We pick these games and we pick the spread and we pick just who's going to win straight up. So, CD, what do you got for us?
Well, you mentioned all the opt-outs or transfers or whatever you want to call them nowadays, but Georgia Southern has just been limping to the finish line. I mean, it was a brutal November and end of October for them. They started out like 6-2 and had a real chance to compete for a Sun Belt title right in the East Division, and with James Madison not being eligible, and they ended up losing out and ended up last in the Sun Belt East. Luckily, they still qualify for a bowl. So that's the only thing that worries me. On the surface, when I looked at this game, I was like, oh, when I saw the matchup pairing, I was like, oh, Ohio's really good defense, right? I like the way that they're coached very, very well. But all the opt-outs, just it's so brutal. It's so brutal for Ohio. There's a reason the line moved, right, to -3.5. Georgia Southern now. I'm gonna take Georgia Southern -3.5. I hope Davis Brin can get it right the whole month. Some people is like, okay, who shows up for a bowl game? If you're Clay Helton and you limp to a finish line, like you have to get your boys ready to go and win a bowl game because like at a place like Georgia Southern and Ohio for that matter, like winning bowl games matters, right? So like, yes, you finished off a season like disappointing, right? But you can still win a bowl game and maybe inspire some confidence in the offseason, um, which is why I think I'm going to take Georgia Southern to win and then obviously to cover.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Ohio, easily a top 15 pass defense, right? If you're gonna get Ohio, it's probably on the ground, but not even. Like they're so stout that up front there. I really like what they got going on. The offense, even with Curtis Rourke and Saya Bangura, hasn't really been all that good. And of course, CJ Harris going out. You got Parker Navarro taking the reins over there for the Bobcats. I haven't really seen him play, so I have no idea what to expect there. I do know what I'm getting from Davis Brin. The problem is when he has run into really good pass defenses, he has those games where he throws multiple interceptions. And I don't love that. Uh, but the uncertainty with Parker Navarro at quarterback, no Sam Bangura, no Miles Cross. Ah, I like I like the Sun Belt. That's kind of what I'm going with right now. I'll ride with you, Georgia Southern to win, but I think this is a low scoring game. I'll take Ohio plus 3.5. Let's middle that. How about that? Let's middle it. Give me Ohio plus three
Oh,
and a half and give me Georgia Southern to win. That's a tough middle right there, but if you're anticipating a low total game, it's possible, man. Last second field goal for Georgia Southern, maybe. Little 10-13 game. Davis Brin throws 4 interceptions. They find a way to win that. I don't know, man. Uh, I don't know. It does feel like the roster situation, the locker room situation with Ohio is a little bit weird right now because there is so much turnover there. That's why it feels weird to take them plus 3.5. But at the same time, I don't know if I trust Davis Brin against a really, really good defense because he has been known to just let it fall apart. So I'm all right with this.
yeah,
Any other thoughts?
yeah. You mentioned going to the third string quarterback, Park Navarro. And now, all due respect to him, and I hope he goes and balls out for sure. Love that the senior gets an opportunity to play in a game like this. But we saw CJ Harris, right, the backup, going against San Diego State. and it was not pretty at all in week 1. It was actually awful. Okay, and so this guy was backing
And
him
San
up. So
Diego
like,
State is not good. They were
no,
terrible
no.
this year.
At the time, we're like, okay, Ohio went out to the West Coast and competed with them. No, CJ Harris was 18 of 41, 200 yards, one touchdown, three interceptions. Now the thing is here, like talk about Pat, like CJ Harris, if Parker Navarro's throwing the ball 41 times, then I feel pretty good about Georgia Southern's chances. I have to believe in Tim Albin's ability to scheme up something in the next couple, or his staff to scheme something in the 3 weeks they had in between their games there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I,
But
it's
yeah,
it's it's tough. It's bowl games. You really like don't know. We're trying to give you good analysis here, but at the same time, like who's gonna show up, who doesn't show up. I think both teams gonna show up. I think Georgia Southern's got a better quarterback. I think they're playing for a little bit more. Although Tim Albin, in the bowl game last year, he had to play CJ Harris, right? And they got to win there too. So it's gonna be awesome.
I,
Tim
look,
Albin's, by the way.
yeah, yeah, tune into
Tim
the
Albin,
Myrtle
by the
Beach
way.
Bowl.
Yeah, you gotta. You always do. It's first bowl game of the year. Okay, like you have to watch that. 10 a.m. Central Time. That's first of all, that in itself is a blessing. Okay, 1 hour earlier than normal. But also, Tim Albin had. He's a good coach, man. He's a good coach there for Ohio. I'm surprised he's not getting more looks elsewhere. His name's not thrown around the coaching carousel a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but no, I agree with you there. I agree with you there. But yeah, go fighting Georgia Southern. What are they? The Golden Eagles. Just win, but don't cover. All right, how about that? Hey guys, MD here. Just here to invite you to the Redshirt Sophomore College Football Bowl pool. The link to join will be in the description down below. The winner, what do they get? A chance to be a guest on the Redshirt Sophomore podcast, of course. But to qualify for that, you got to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. So make sure you click that subscribe button down below. When you sign up, all you got to do is just pick a team, right? See here at Miami, Ohio versus App State. This example selected Miami, and they have 12 confidence points on it. You rate these games 1 to 43, and it's going to be a blast. I can't wait to have you guys on. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Thank you.